Here we are at Union Square. Welcome to the second video. And first question I'd like to ask you is, being an observer and a participant in the occupation for the whole 2 months, why don't you share some of the things you thought were really worthwhile doing, or things that were really positive about what was happening in the park? You know, things that you would that you personally approved of, or you thought were helpful.
Lots of positive things in the park. I mean, first of all, bringing awareness to everything that Wall Street and the banks have been doing in the last 10 years was a very big positive. Getting people involved, getting people to the point where they're like angry and ready to do something about it, ready to protest, ready to bring attention, ready to provide information about all of the horrible things the banks have been doing. There was also Zucotti Occupy provided an amazing place where anybody can get together with anybody and share information, share ideas, share dreams, share viewpoints, share backgrounds. We had an amazing variety of people from all different backgrounds, and this was a very rare opportunity where anybody could come in and meet just about anybody that they wanted to from any other background that they wanted to. It was just an amazing exchange of ideas that is going to be very hard to replicate the same way.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, I remember all the different websites, all the different pamphlets, all the different even books that I encountered those 2 weeks, and also conversations. So that definitely it was a real focal hub for this issue. However, you know, as we were there in the park, living there all day, all night,
I mean,
a lot of the
a groundwork where everybody could get together without worrying about food, because there was food being provided, and without worrying about a place to sleep or paying rent because people were sleeping right there and then. So it provided for all the basic needs, so people who enjoyed these basic needs could enjoy the luxury of having conversations, dialogue, trying out new things, new experiences, trying meditation, yoga, things they've never tried before. Just everything new, because they had all of their basic needs provided for. Unfortunately, that also created the big problem where lots of people came there just for the free stuff.
Right, that's what we're going to talk about next. You know, during our time there, a lot of the conversation was focused on what we were doing in the moment. Like, the conversation was referenced itself. You know, everyone would talk about how they felt about what was going on in the park, and a lot of it was negative. A lot of people said, well, this shouldn't happen, or that shouldn't happen. So what were some of the things that were missing, first of all? What some of the things that could have been in place that just didn't have the time to materialize, or didn't materialize in the right timing? And also, what were some of the things that were happening there that you would not have liked to have seen?
Well, there was lots of drug use, which we agreed at the beginning to keep drugs away from there, both for our image and for the sake of keeping things safe. In the last month, in the last 4 weeks that Occupy was there, then there was lots of violence, there was lots of aggression, there was lots of arguments. There was not, at the beginning there was some security detail, but the security detail without proper motivation would fall apart very quickly, and there was not enough security. And when we needed the cops, when there was actually problems, that lots of people refused to allow the police in there at the right times.
Right.
And then again, when we were asking for help from the cops, the police themselves were not very voluntary in helping us. And people were not willing to police themselves, police other people, make sure that problematic people would be kept away from the park. So there were lots of problems, and most of the people there did not know how to deal with those problems.
Right. We did have a community we didn't know quite how to manage.
Yes.
That was
especially because
true.
there was a growing number of people that were not interested in actually being involved in the community.
Right.
Because at the very beginning, the sense of community was amazing. I mean, we'd say somebody would get up and want to do something, and people would just join him without asking too many questions. Like, somebody would come by and say, hey, we found a couple mattresses abandoned down the street, and we just grab 5-6 people, just drag them back without any questions. It would be very easy to get people to help you out in different projects. Different projects would just spring up because people felt like doing something. People were motivated. So the sense of community was amazing, especially after the first march. The sense of belonging, the sense of people being dependent on each other I honestly felt like the people down there were ready to take a bullet for me, and I was ready to take a bullet for them.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't even know each other. We just happened to be in the same place.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. So here we are at Union Square. This is one of the small focal hubs of what the movement is now. So I'd just like you to share how you feel about where the movement is now. Here in July.
Yes, it's July.
It's June. We're almost in July.
Almost in July.
Yeah.
It's end of June, and I honestly feel slightly ashamed to still be somewhat attached to Occupy because it has simply deteriorated. The people who are more motivated to do things, the working groups have turned into elitist groups that have no touch with the people actually occupying. The people occupying are completely unmotivated and are not producing anything, including ideas or even producing something productive. And it has simply deteriorated to the point where I honestly don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
It's like what it was in the first couple of weeks is completely different from what it is now.
So you think the human element has changed?
The human element has changed a lot. I mean, I've been here since day one, and I've watched change and evolve in so many different ways. And the people that are around right now are just not the same people that were around in the first place.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this last question is what these videos are all about at heart. Let's say that this movement does succeed, or it gets back on its feet.
Well, that was the problem from the very beginning, is that success is only defined by goals that you're trying to achieve.
Right.